Thank you for having me here. So I will talk about something totally different because you hear it from my accent, I'm German, but I live for 25 years now in Silicon Valley. And I'm now the newbie in the industry. I'm CEO of Advanco for 3 years, but I'm coming from the IT and ERP side. And I'm really frustrated how slow things are in pharma, and we're always hiding behind compliance. And I would rather talk a little bit now about, how I see the future, where the challenges are for the future, and where I think, have to change. Because we're all talking for the last 2 days about operational stuff, how the system really works. And I question that the system are good enough for the future, because the systems are clumsy, ugly, expensive. And when we talk about beyond compliance, I think we're also talking total cost of ownership, speed, flexibility, agile, and all the things. But I think we don't have at the moment. So with this, as you know, we are a vendor. I have to do a little bit of sales, so I do a little bit of a video, and then we're done with the sales, and then we go for the facts. Can you play the video?
At Advanco, our goal is to deliver single-item serialization, allowing track and trace for individual goods, products, and materials in real time, along the entire supply chain, anywhere on the face of the planet. Our 41 years of experience in the supply chain, including 11 years experience in the pharmaceutical sector, make Advanco a key player in the entire supply chain. Our proven software platform, ARC, is a complete solution for the entire serialization ecosystem. The ARC platform is used by over 40 customers around the globe at more than 50 sites, controlling over 400 package lines and installed in more than 20 countries. Advanco is operating at the heart of the fight against the pandemic. We developed and deployed our pioneering software serialization and aggregation solution, ARC Cold Chain, to Thermo Fisher Scientific to answer their vaccine packaging needs and to ensure supply chains are strong and secure. At Advanco, we have decided to make a global impact by working all around the world with several offices based in Brussels, Cancun, Cologne, Istanbul, London, and San Francisco. For more information, feel free to visit our website, www.advanco.com.
So much for the sales talk. Now let's talk a little bit about what I call digital catch-up. I still believe that the pharma industry, and I saw it later with some data, is way behind what other industry are in terms of digitalization, IT platform, way behind. But what we have seen, remember we have that little thing COVID, that's why we're wearing masks, how we really had a problem in the last 18 months to 2 years. Because certain things didn't work, supply chains didn't work, we didn't get our stuff, and a lot of stuff had to do with that pharma is behind the IT digitalization and not paying attention, and we're always hiding behind, it doesn't work because of the compliance. And now, we do compliance, what is the next thing? So there are great new things coming up in terms we have to be aware of, globalization. Supply chain will change totally, in my view. I've been working in supply chain in other industry for 25 years, and we need to be much more agile, much more quicker. It has to be we see industries, and no industry can change suppliers on a daily basis, based on a software platform. Let's try to do it in our industry. It will be a nightmare. I think people will passing out if I talk about it. So price pressure coming on, absolutely. We need to be more. The CFOs asking now all the serialization people, where have you spent my money in the last 10 years? Again, beyond compliance. Where's the total cost of ownership? The whole area of personal medication, where it goes. So digitalization can help with all of this, but I think the pharma industry have to be much more open and much more agile in order to doing it. That's a study from McKinsey. Look where we are in terms of digitalization. There's only one is worse, is government. Let's face it, every other industry in the world has a better better implementation, better maturity about this. And I think that's bad, because we are slow, we are very costly. We talking about all these slides in the last 2 days. It's very complicated, and changes takes forever. So for me, coming from that side is very frustrating, but I thinking we're hiding behind it. So we can do things definitely better. One of the two big things I see in terms of where you have to start for digitalization is definitely in the area of sourcing, that you can do better job sourcing your products, getting it there. And then we have ongoing problems, let's face it, at the moment with COVID. We had a shortage of medication around. It has to do with the supply chain was not quick enough, not agile enough, and not modern enough. Again, everybody uses different buzzwords. Some people using Industry 4.0, we have Pharma 4.0, Serialization 2.0. It always comes to the same thing. We need to change and adapting quicker in terms of our IT systems. So that is what we see as a vendor at the moment, where serialization, where the demand is. What customers are asking, what vendors are working on is we need to be more efficient on the OE side. We have very expensive machines. Are we really the utilization out of there? I don't think so. We talked about it, new regulatory things coming up all the time. How quick can we implement them? And what's the cost for this? We heard friends from Russia, full track and trace will come sooner or later. Welcome to this. That means we have to do new reporting. We have to do a whole new scheme in order to covering this. People are asking for things now like IoT, data security on shop floor with the machines, blockchain, all these buzzwords coming up where nobody at Pharma even talk about it or even want to think about it. Aggregation, big thing, pallet aggregation, things coming. And then the demand that I believe still that existing serialization track and trace system are not modern IT standards. I think there's a huge gap between the IT department at one of the pharma companies, what they want to understand about a modern system, and what's at the moment in track and trace. And that is what we also have to look on and have to work on, and where innovation starts and where we are at. All these buzzwords on the bottom, you find it in reports of Pharma 4.0, Industry 4.0, AI. Wouldn't it be great, I saw some people from Rotzinger or Syntegon here, wouldn't it be great if the machine could say, I'm running out of ink, and send it through the solution stack back to an ERP system and ordering the ink already, and knowing that the maintenance will come in 2 weeks? That already works in other industry, but not in our industry. Cyber physical, digital twins, there's so much thing other industry doing at the moment where we're way behind. So, and that is for me coming back to think beyond compliance, that there's a lot of stuff we can do with not jeopardizing serialization or the regulatory stuff, but we can make it, in my view, with modern IT systems or platforms, cheaper, quicker, better, and more safe. So the area what I thinking comes is definitely new supply chains. That rigid thing what we have, a rigid supply chain to China and back, look at COVID, it didn't work. So supply chains has to be agile, local, flexible, and you have to change in minutes, in days, very quick your suppliers on both ends on the production side, distribution side. That requires really, really modern IT system. But it also means you have to be more smaller systems, flexible system. You have to go back to local production again, and not going for, let's produce everything on one kind. It has to be local and agile. So these are the areas where I see supply chain in the next 2 to 5 years will change dramatically. It is already done in another industry. It's only a question when pharma is catching up for this. Agile track and trace. One of the things I never understand, and I'm a board member or at OpenSCS, these levels, level 1, 2, 3 with interfaces and whatever, it's madness. I think there need to be one open software platform with open standard to do plug and play, and then have proprietary systems sending data to A, to B, to C, backwards. It's not working. Oh, I buy something new. I need to do something new. It's madness. Sorry, so more I think about it, what I've done in the last 3 years, I feel 20 years younger because other industry had it 20 years ago. And what is amazing for me as a vendor, that nobody on the customer side, sorry, I give it back to the customers, are really finding it as an issue. So I feel I'm the only one who's thinking, that's not right. We can do it better, and we can do it cheaper, better, more flexible with everything the benefits are coming. Hardware and software vendor, that's on us. We need to be better aligned. We are not. Again, we need to talk to each other more, because you customers should not be suffering that we don't have an interface to somebody. That should be an open standard platform with plug and play. So there's works on both sides. But a lot of problems or challenges, again, I live in America, it's a bad word, we call it challenges, is that we're creating our own challenges or problems by having these old platforms and these old standards. So again, I tried it, we're trying it, but I also know other people and my competition or other people working with. I know U-Trace working on it, PHARMA working on this. All we vendors working on it, but you need to give us a chance to let us in and to work on these new platforms. So that's what we're working on, a platform. One platform for everything, open, plug and play. It's a journey to go. And it's on our side, together with you, to make it so quick, so easy, so safe, that then you can have the savings by easy processes, easy interfaces, easy plug-ins in order to get that. So for me, it comes to an open software platform where no proprietary stuff. You can do plug and play. IT will be happy. You save money, you can do, and it's our job to helping you guys to be compliant and to be safe. So these are, for me, drivers for Serialization 2.0, what we even have not touched. Blockchain will become for data exchange. Not now. Other industries working on it, but it will come. How will we doing it? We need to talk as an industry about it. What will be standards and how we're doing it? But exchanging data with all the stuff you've seen, how we deal with MHA to CMO, to suppliers, whatever. Blockchain is the best way. But we not even have a working group, really, to thought about it, what we want to do and how we're doing it. It's shocking. Cybersecurity, big thing. If we're talking IoT, machines are vulnerable on shop floor. How getting in, so these are things we need to integrate in our software, and we as a vendor, and you also have a concept for how to doing it. Big data, everybody talks about it, how we're leveraging all the data we're collecting, how we can make the supply chain better, how we can make manufacturing better, how we can learning for all the stuff, the data we have. We're not doing it. We're not optimizing. We're not taking all the power we have in that data, what other industry. Coming back, I'm repeating it, it has to be an open system, open that everybody can talk to everybody, and it should be from an application point of view, plug and play. That has to be the springboard, the Kickstarter, what I call for the next wave of Serialization 2.0, in order to avoid all the stuff, the problems we're dealing with. So I thinking, to be honest, we're hiding as an industry behind the complexity of regulation. And I don't think that's true. Other industry having it too. We're doing it because we maybe are thinking that's okay, but we're not pushing it, we're not challenging it, and we are not innovative enough. And I'm thinking, so part of the challenges and problems we have are homemade, because we are not really jumping like other industry to it. So with that was my little angry speech. And I pledge and I ask people, guys, we need to get better as an industry, and we need to use all the benefits and the stuff that other industries doing already, and we could have a same same standard, we can be same compliant, same secure, but we're not leveraging IT and platforms to the fullest. Thank you. Any questions? I don't think so, but...
No, there is one from the digital. This is the whole setup here. I apologize. So great presentation. That's from Leandro Nunez. Why do you think blockchain has not progressed in pharma the same way you see in the other industries?
No, I think it is proper, but I see that we don't have in pharma the innovation risk. We don't have that working togetherness. Because a standard like blockchain, I'm a member of OpenSCS, it takes for 10 years and we're still not there. God forbid we do blockchain. I will be dead before it will be happened. Because, you know, it is every time I talk to somebody about something like blockchain, I believe coming from the IT side, blockchain is perfect for communication in pharma. It is secure, it is fast, it is there. But if I talk to any end customer or to the vendors, they're telling me 50 things why it will not work. You have it under the industry, what is missing is this entrepreneurship, this risk-taking, this, again, we're hiding behind compliance. So coming back, I think it has to be like in any other thing. When I was slim, young, and long time ago, I was early involved in XML. We had fights with 20 people in a room. But at the end of the day, look, XML is now a standard. And people were fighting for it. Here, sorry, again, coming back in pharma, nobody fights for anything. As we take it what it is, but we didn't take any risk. So I expect that other industry will be having blockchain as the communication standard before we even thinking about it.
All right, and I actually have a question myself. I was helping my colleague to moderate a digital event the other day, and the topic was also pharma manufacturing. Now I work with pharma, but just in a different part, competitive intelligence, market research, and things like that, analytics. And I know the regulation, and here we saw that the regulation is very complex, depending on the country, the region, many other factors. And one of the presenters said, so we've adopted this new approach into manufacturing. Basically the Facebook approach, you know, do things fast, break things. And for me, that was really puzzling because of, you know, the setup. So do you think it's ever like possible, apart from this one company, to you know, move fast and break things?
Oh, absolutely. Because one thing is, you know, again, I saw a couple of people from the hardware vendor side here, all the testing we do. Look, other industry doing already digital twins, where there is no more physically testing in a factory. You see, we need to try things. We still have to say that compliance is important. It has to be compliance. But you should challenge us vendors to say, I want this, make it happen. And when we can't deliver the compliance, then we don't do it. But at least nobody challenge us vendors. Sorry, you know, again, it's like in other industry, you know, I worked before in aerospace and automotive, they're bugging you every day. Can we do this? Can we do this? When can we do this? Here, happy with the status quo. Let's not do digital twins, let's fly to a factory. But when COVID came, oh my God, I know I was at your factory, sorry, saying that, when right away after COVID, and Matthias told me they were sending a couple of lines there because you couldn't get them to Saudi Arabia. For how long were they standing there? For a long time. Could not do it. You see, there comes things where if we would have had a digital twin, we could do it differently and do the testing in another way. So there are ways to doing it. But we, again, and it's a two-way street. It is, you have to challenge us vendors to come up with the right solution and with not justifying or any way jeopardizing compliance. And on the other end, but you have to be willing to be more open-minded and see the savings and the benefit in something new, in something innovative.
All right. Are there any more questions from the audience? Oh, there is one. Great.
So you were talking about plug and play across the vendors, and you're part of the OpenSCS. Is OpenSCS the first step in your opinion, or? It
was a first step, but it was too slow. It is too slow. Because we at OpenSCS, we never really could get the end customer behind it. and it is still not vendor-based, it's too slow. I think you need to even go further, or you have to give it back to the vendors and say, yeah, you can agree. OpenSCS is a great standard, it works in other industry, like when it have. But we never had it here behind really, because again, it was the unwillingness, sorry, I'm repeating it, is the unwillingness of the vendor to try an OpenSCS, to try a plug and play. Let's try it at one side with one machine, with one application, but at least you need to be willing to trying it. And then, that is, but I believe it has to go beyond OpenSCS in terms of plug and play. Because when you see other industries now, when you do now an ERP implementation, nobody wants a 3 or 4 years implementation nowadays. There are interfaces between Salesforce and ERP or other systems, plug and play, PLM. It is going in, plug and play, their frameworks. Again, we already moved on to the next one, and I think the same thing is what is your solution stack at any company, and then ask yourself how many of this application can you really do plug and play in the solution stack for track and trace? Not much.
Thanks.
With that, again, hopefully I will not change your mindsetting, but I think hopefully stimulated your thinking. Happy to talk more about it, let me know, and when we see other here in 4 years again, same place, then let's see how many of that things we at least hopefully started. Thank you very much.